Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. There was drama today in a Malindi court when a hustler fumed in court over unfair treatment. Have a look at this before we continue.
This is the most useless court in the world. I tell you this because I've been in remand for 1 year because of a simple witness from a court here and here. This thing, I tell you Kenyans, will come to an end someday because I've never seen this. Justice delayed is justice denied. I claim the privileges of a Kenyan of my age at 68 to be given justice. You cannot just bring me to this place, take me remand, bring me to this place, take me remand. I'm not a person of this age. I'm not happy. 1 year, madam.
I will call them to restrain you to the principal.
Yes. The hustler is making it very clear that he has been remanded for over 1 year because a prosecution witness has failed to testify against him for over 1 year. In this video, I want us to dissect into that developing story, to see the story behind the story, and why I still maintain and I repeat that for our courts to have the respect they deserve, Martha Koome and her bench must resign. They must leave office. Before we dig deep into that story, if you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Yes. Those remarks by that old mzee clearly indicates amefika mwisho, he is ready to die. And the mere fact that he has been remanded for over 1 year, simply because a prosecution witness has failed to testify against him, convinces me he is a poor man. If he was a rich person, he couldn't have been remanded for that long. It shows he's a poor man. So even the money in question might not be all that a big amount. It might not be all that a big amount. And I'm saying that because this is happening at a very interesting moment when we are seeing corruption cases running into tunes of millions, corruption cases being dropped. Corruption cases running into tune of millions being dropped. So far, we have seen a 588 million corruption case against Ferdinand Waititu being dropped, 400 million corruption case against former Kenya Power MD Chumo being dropped, and over 20 million case against Aisha Juma being dropped, and so many other leaders. We have seen that. And it's interesting, it's happening at this time. You can now see clearly that the government, or rather the judiciary, treats the rich, or rather the so-called dynasties, with velvet gloves. But the poor are being treated with a lot of unfairness. That's exactly what is coming out here clearly. So I might be right to conclude that this is a government that only defends the rich. The poor masses are on their own. And it's very interesting because William Ruto formed this government on the premise of the hustlers. But it's coming out clearly that this is a government for the rich. And also from those remarks by that old man, it's also very clear, and is putting the spot again on the apex court, on the Supreme Court. Quite a good majority of Kenyans do not have faith and trust in our courts. And the Supreme Court, that should be instilling some confidence amongst Kenyans, for Kenyans to have trust and faith in the courts, the Supreme Court is even making things worse. And I'm saying that courtesy to the just concluded presidential petition, the petition that was challenging William Ruto's election. Quite a good majority of Kenyans believe and felt that the Supreme Court justices were compromised to rule the way they ruled. I honestly believe that if it was evidence that was to form their ruling, then they could have not ruled the way they did. But it's clear they were compromised. And quite a good majority of Kenyans, because of that event alone, that verdict alone, quite a good majority of Kenyans lost faith and trust in our courts. And the mere fact again that corruption cases are also just being dropped left, right, center, and we are seeing those cases being dropped to be of those people who are close to William Ruto. While those who are deemed not close to William Ruto, their cases are being revived, also just proves beyond any reasonable doubt that Kenyans, or rather the courts, are compromised. And that's why quite a good number of Kenyans are losing faith in the courts. So to the Chief Justice and her bench, I've always been maintaining, and I repeat, your continued stay in office is doing our courts a lot of injustice. Your continued stay in office is making a good number of Kenyans to lose faith in our courts. And that's why we are seeing Kenyans are not even respecting the courts. People are just describing our courts as the most useless courts in the world. And that is because of you, Martha Koome, and your bench. Do Kenyans justice by resigning. Your continued stay in office is doing our courts more injustice than good. That's exactly what is coming out very clearly. And even before I conclude, looking at that Muse again, it's also very interesting. It's also very interesting that just a failure of a prosecution witness failing to testify against somebody can lead to somebody being remanded for over 1 year. And I'm seeing injustice being done there in that some rich individuals might be conspiring with the prosecution to deny the poor masses justice in our courts. That's also something I'm seeing here. So it's almost now clear that these courts are only for the rich, not for the poor masses. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. But just as I did indicate when we were starting, if you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you're giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Any other person who wants over discussion, a chat with me, or even to support this forum, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number. Yes. Or feel free to send a contribution or a donation to the number. Yes. And as I conclude, that old Mzee, what he is going through is what a good majority of Kenyans, most of the hustlers, are going through. Mr. President William Ruto, you promised your government was going to be a government of Mama Mboga, Boda Boda. Make sure that such kind of instances are not repeated. Defend the hustlers. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.